Hey guys, what's up? It's Robbie here, and we are taking a look at more Battlefield 1. I mean, we've got a ton of news to go over today. We've got brand new maps, plus your feedback from the beta has influenced the final game of Battlefield 1 greatly. We're going to be going over those changes, and we've got a brand new mode to talk about, War Pigeons. So let's dive into it. Now, you can use the video guide in the description below if you just want to skip ahead to details about the new Conquest Mode and War Pigeons game mode, or if you just want to find out about the new maps, use that video guide in the description below. So yeah, if you're like me, you're probably mostly curious about these brand new maps. They are going to be Ballroom Blitz, Argonne Fores, Fao Fortress, Suez. Of course, we know about Quentin Scar. We played that one in the alpha. Then Sinai Desert, which was the beta map. We've got Amiens, Monte Grapp, Empire's Edge, and then there's some details about the free map, which will be in December, which is going to be called Giant Shadow. But let's go over the maps. What exactly are they? There are some details. We've got Ballroom Blitz. Now, this is the description for it. It says, join the final offensives along the Meuse River in 1918. Here, fierce fighting in trench lines is quickly replaced by the untouched beauty beyond hell. And you can see how beautiful this environment will be in Battlefield 1. It's a massive French chateau, previously home to officers beyond the rear lines, and is now the scene for a battle with both tanks and flamethrowers. So it's not just going to be this interior. Some of you were probably wondering if this is going to be more of a CQC map. No. It looks like it's going to be a proper Conquest-style map. Now, they say the chandeliers are shaking from the barrage as the American forces push for the final railway hub at the edge of this map. This one should be a really, really good one. Cannot wait to see this interior. It looks freaking amazing. But what about Argonne Fores? Well, this is how it's being described. The shadowy depths of Argonne Fores is the scene for some of the most brutal close-quarter combat in Battlefield 1. So it is a very CQC game. It looks like you're not going to have a lot of line of sight for sniping. Now, they go on to say, the world inside this forest features devious defensive setups combined with a labyrinth of bunkers and machine gun nests, camouflaged field guns firing at point-blank range, stormtroopers clearing out bunkers with gas, and the best use of sharpened spades will determine who owns the depths of the forest. Heroes are forged surviving the intensity of the infantry-focused map. So this is going to be one of those CQC infantry-focused maps. Cannot wait to try that. So curious to see what these bunkers look like. And we've got a really interesting one called Fao Fortress. This is the description, guys. Join one of the earliest amphibious landings of the Great War as the British Empire struggles to secure the oil on the Alpha Peninsula. The majestic Ottoman fortress of Fao guards the entrance and is not falling uncontested. Here, you will fight through marshlands and dunes, over bridges and shallow coves. The assault finally enters the ancient forest itself. The quest for oil begins here. The dreadnought needs to feed. So what really interests me about this one is the marshlands and the dunes. That sounds freaking awesome. You know, a lot of times when you think of World War I, you think of trenches. You think of kind of like the Verdun game, if anyone has played Verdun. That it is just trench warfare and nothing like deserts, marshlands, dunes. So this is very, very different. Something that I really wasn't expecting in a World War I themed FPS game. So I'm very surprised and thrilled with this. Next up, we've got Suez, and the description goes like this. The screenshot, by the way, looks amazing. So it's a struggle for the most vital supply line of World War I. Even though it was considered impossible, the Ottomans crossed the desert of Sinai and threatened the canal. Join the fight by the banks of the Grand Canal and make tactical use of the dunes. Fight through shallow defenses with field guns or mortars through the outskirts of Cantera and into the deep desert beyond. So another desert type themed map on the shore on the peninsula here should be a ton of fun. But, you know, we've seen more of the rural environment in Battlefield 1 thanks to the closed alpha. And then also we've seen a more desert nature type environment through Sinai Desert. What about the urbanized, more city-like environments? Will we be expecting maps like that? Well, yes. We'll be going to Amiens. It's being described as a destructive clash in a majestic city. Fight on the streets and squares in the French city of Amiens during the German Spring Offensive. A struggle in crumbling alleys, a courthouse, around bridges and railways, where the British and the Germans desperately seek to control the depths of the city. So this is going to be the map that has another train behemoth, it seems. So that's something I would expect from this map. Cannot wait to take control of this train and barrel roll through the city and see what type of damage it can do. And I know a lot of you have probably seen this artwork here. It looks amazing. It is Monte Grapp. Now it is being described as this: take part in one of the final battles among the peaks of kings in the Venetian Alps. High up above the clouds, a desperate fight for control of mountain forts are challenging even the toughest soldiers. Utilize the massive fort canyons to stop the advancing enemies as they scale the mountainside. Up here in this furious struggle, the Austro-Hungarian Empire holds the upper hand, but the Italian army won't stop until they've taken back what's theirs. So it's going to be fun to play as these new armies and experience their weapons and vehicles. What I love about this screenshot is the different plane skins here that we can see. Of course, that's going to be a big thing in Battlefield 1. You're going to be getting vehicle skins, weapon skins to play around with. So I've heard they are absolutely amazing. They aren't too wild. You won't be getting a pink MP18, for example. They will keep it very much World War I, and I think it's going to be pretty epic looking. And we actually saw this one in the initial trailers, but we've got some details about it. It is called Empire's Edge. Here's the description. Along the Adriatic coast, a fierce struggle for land and life is taking place. A rugged but fortified shore becomes the battlefield for an empire under siege. What was once a beautiful Mediterranean village by the coast is now transformed by mechanized war, where waves and dreadnought battleships pound the remains of Italy's Great War. And of course, expect the battleship to be the behemoth in this map. So we have a variety of behemoths in Battlefield 1. We've got your Goodyear blimp. No, I'm just kidding. We've got the big airships. We played with the train in the beta. And then we have yet to experience the battleship. And I cannot wait to see how this one handles and how devastating it is against the shore. How you will actually counter it is going to be the question. I think that's going to be mainly through the air, of course. And I am so curious about Giant Shadow. Now, if you don't know about this map, it is going to be coming out for free in December. Yes, Battlefield 1 will be supporting free content sprinkled out throughout its paid DLC releases. So the description for the free map, Giant Shadow, goes like this. Prepare to take part in the Battle of Celle in the cold autumn of 1918. Here, the fighting moves out of the trenches into open country where a massive crashed airship casts its shadow onto the battlefield. I had a feeling that this would involve an airship. Now, the British forces have broken through the Hindenburg Line and are now in pursuit towards an important railway center. Fierce infantry and tank engagements ensue on the open ground and riverbanks alongside the Cateau-Wassigny Railway, where an armored train can still turn the tide. Giant Shadow will be coming to Battlefield 1 as part of a free update in December, it goes on to say. So yes, it is going to be all about the airship casting its huge giant shadow across the battlefield. I cannot wait to see the visuals on this one. I'm so curious to see what in the world is going on here. Of course, the artwork looks insane. They have really amazing artwork for Battlefield 1, so it's kind of a tease, as you can see here. But I cannot wait to play this one especially. And I'm really liking the fact that they are going to be supporting the game with some sort of free content throughout its lifetime. Let's hope they continue doing that, even with other EA titles like Star Wars Battlefront 2, and of course Titanfall 2 is getting free content as well. And I know you guys are quite familiar with these two maps. They are St. Quentin Scar, which was featured in the closed alpha, and Sinai Desert, which was played in the beta. Of course, those were pretty good maps. A lot of you didn't really care for Sinai Desert. I think it was because it was too hardcore. It was very long range. And then you had E, which was clear out in the middle of nowhere. But they will be making changes to that map. And speaking of changes, we have a brand new update from DICE and the official Battlefield 1 website. It is dubbed What We Learned from the Battlefield 1 Open Beta. And man, they're going to be making quite a bit of changes. So let's dive into those. So I'm going to read the blog post right now. It goes, "Hello everyone, my name is Daniel Berlin, and I'm the lead world designer on Battlefield 1. I would like to give you all a big thank you from everyone here at DICE Stockholm for helping make Battlefield 1 Open Beta the biggest beta in EA's history. It's a real treat to see the game being played by our fans and newcomers alike. Every single issue you encounter, every bug reported, and all the feedback given is invaluable to us and the development team. Trust me when I say we listen closely to all the comments," and he's about to prove it. He goes on to say, "But what does this mean? Well, first of all, I'd like to talk to you about the Conquest game mode. When we build a new Battlefield game, it's important for us to try new things. We want to stay fresh and renew the franchise with each new installment. However, it's equally as important that we take the feedback that you, the community, are giving us. That is why we're going to be making changes to the Conquest game mode ticket system for launch. The next time you play the game, capturing the objectives and getting kills will both contribute towards the final score of a Conquest match. You have spoken, we have listened." So very good news. A lot of you noticed that capturing a control point, the amount of points that a player was given was radical compared to a player that was really good at getting kills. And anyone that was out there as a sniper or a support role on a cliffside really could not contribute as much as someone that was right in the thick of it and capturing a point. So anyone that is sniping or wants to play that type of role, their kills will actually count towards the ticket system now and will influence it directly instead of them just getting a kill and getting minimal points as well. Now, they don't go on to say if they've adjusted how much points you will receive for each kill, but I imagine that will be adjusted as well. They go on to say, "We have also monitored and listened to your comments in regards to the Rush game mode. It's super exciting for us to bring back Rush for Battlefield 1, and we are aiming to make it the best Rush experience to date. We are making tweaks to the game mode as we speak, with your feedback as the backbone to the entire process." They don't really go into much details about what they've done differently with Rush mode, but my opinion is I think the highlight of Battlefield 1 will definitely remain Conquest mode, simply because you get the air vehicles. It's a much larger game mode, and I personally absolutely love Conquest mode, so much in fact that I want to see it in Star Wars Battlefront 2. Now, he goes on to say, "We're also looking into balancing other elements, including the weapons and vehicles. The light tank, which is a bit too effective in the open beta, guys. I ruled with the light tank, and I said it was my favorite vehicle. Obviously, it was kind of OP. And he said that will definitely receive some work. I hope it's not nerfed too much, to be honest with you, because I think it was a very cool vehicle." And then he said that they agree that horses can take a few too many rounds at the moment. They also learned that the beta, that you guys need more tools to deal with vehicles earlier, which they are definitely looking into. That's something that I noticed. There was like a hazing ritual being at lower levels. It was pretty terrible, so they need to get those anti-tank tools more readily available to players right out of the gates. And what about the new War Pigeons game mode? So this is the description of that game mode. "During the Great War, man-made communication systems were still crude and unreliable, so dogs and pigeons were used extensively to carry messages. In the War Pigeons game mode, the opposing side competes to use messenger pigeons to call in artillery barrages on the enemy. Now, when the game starts, a pigeon coop with a messenger pigeon is placed somewhere on the map. Locate the pigeon before the enemy and carry it to a safe location out in the open. There you prepare a message and send it off, calling for artillery support. Once a message is successfully sent, an artillery barrage will strike the enemy." Sounds like a ton of freaking fun, almost like a capture the flag type game mode, but with a pigeon and a ton of artillery. So there you guys have it. There's all the feedback about Battlefield 1. Cannot wait for October 21st. Expect some awesome gameplay here soon on Open World Games. It is going to be amazing, so guys, look forward to it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the battlefield.